I just got the new M4 iMac. Today, I'm gonna test its video editing performance by running multiple different video projects in Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. I also want to see how it compared with my M3 Pro MacBook Pro on video editing and see if I can even replace that. If you are thinking about getting a new iMac or the new base model Mac Mini for video editing, this video is for you. Later, I'm also going to talk about which editing software I feel like it's going to work the best on the base model M4 chip. So stick around. For the iMac, I got the one with 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports. It has a unbinned M4 chip with 10-core CPU, 4 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores, 10-core GPU. I didn't upgrade anything else, so it has 16 gig memory and 256 gig storage. If you are getting the base model M4 Mac Mini, the specs are all the same. For my 14-inch MacBook Pro, it has a binned M3 Pro chip with 11-core CPU, 5 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores, 14-core GPU. I did upgrade the memory, so it has 36 gig of memory, and it has 512 gig of storage. I know for those two machines, the memory configurations are not on the same level, but I still want to do the test and see how the experience is gonna be like. Before the test starts, I want to mention all the two machines are running the same version of macOS, same versions of the editing software, and all my media are on my Samsung T9 external SSD. I've also cleaned all the cache of my editing software, so we should expect a same render and export situation. Also, during the test, there's no other apps running in the background. Let's test the first project in Final Cut Pro. This is a travel video I was working on before. I shot it on my iPhone using ProRes Log. The footage is in 4K 24 FPS, ProRes HQ. If you look at the timeline, it's kind of straightforward, just cutting those shots together, but I did apply color LUTs and color correction on it. Other than that, I don't really have additional effects or something like that. Let's test the timeline playback first. When I edit in Final Cut Pro, I always keep the quality on better quality, and I don't use proxy. I also turn off the background rendering because I don't want it to fill my hard drive. So it really tests the machine itself at this point. Okay, let's start playing. Yeah, looks nice. It's playing back at the full speed. There's some lagging happening. A little laggy here. Okay, overall, it can play this 4K timeline in real time. The only places it gets stuttered is because I applied time warp over here. So I guess those retiming really push the machine pretty hard. If I try some other spots that I do time warp, you can see it's gonna become laggy as well, like here. Yeah, it's gonna be like this. But if I play the portion that doesn't have any effects on there, it's gonna be fine. Okay, that's what happened on this iMac. Actually, when I edited that travel video, I was using a base model M2 MacBook Air, which has 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and that SSD was actually quite slow because of the single NAND chip, and it really affects the overall performance. But I remembered on that machine, in this project, I can still use better quality, no proxy, no background rendering, and playback in real time, except those spots that I have time warp. So I basically have the same experience on M4 and M2. In a way, we can tell Apple really has a great optimization on Final Cut Pro. Now let's test out the playback on my MacBook Pro. So I've connected to the power, and it also has all the same settings like better quality, no proxy, and no background rendering. Let's play at the exact same spot. Looks good. Real time. Oh, look at that. It becomes laggy at the same spot. Yeah, exact same spot. So it seems like it can still play back in real time in most of the parts, except those time warp. For example, I go to the beginning, let's see the same spots over there. Yeah, it really is staggered at the same position. But the rest of them are fine. If you want to make it work, go to better performance. Alright, the result in Final Cut Pro is that I'm basically having the same editing experience on M4 and M3 Pro. In the majority of time, they all play my 4K timeline fine, but the parts M4 stuttered, M3 Pro stuttered as well, so there's not that much difference. Now let me go do an export test and see how fast each machine is. I exported my timeline in HEVC 10-bit 4K 2398. The M4 iMac finished in 1 minute and 12 seconds. The M3 Pro MacBook Pro finished in 1 minute and 18 seconds. Actually, the M4 iMac is a little faster than the M3 Pro. I've watched a bunch of reviews already, and seems like this year's M4 chip got an improvement on the media engine. And also seems like Final Cut Pro relies on Media Engine quite a bit for exporting. So that might explain why the M4 chip gets a better result than the M3 Pro, even though it is not a Pro level chip. Alright, let's test out the second project in Premiere Pro. This is another video I shot on my iPhone, and the footage is ProRes 422HQ as well. If you look at the timeline, it's kind of similar with the previous one, just cutting clips together, and I have color LUT and color correction. I don't really have other effects over here. Let's test out the playback. I have the high quality playback turned on, and I'm also viewing it in full resolution. Let's hit play. Okay, you can see it's definitely not playing in real time. Look at the horse, the movement is really laggy. I didn't use any time warp, they're just straight clips with color correction, but I still cannot play back in high quality in real time. So the only way to fix it is to lower the playback resolution to half. And now you can see it's playing in real time. You can also turn off high quality playback and then keep the resolution in full, but I don't really like that because if you turn off high quality playback, you'll notice the color gonna shift a little bit, so it's not really good for color correction. Now we start seeing the performance difference between different software. I basically have the same timeline structure, but in Final Cut Pro, I can play back in real time. In Premiere Pro, I cannot. Let's go to my MacBook Pro and see if there's any improvement. I also have high quality playback turned on and full playback resolution. Let's hit play. It does look better. But if there's movement on screen, for example, the same horse, I'm not sure if you can tell from the camera, but from what I saw, it's still not playing back in real time. If I change the playback resolution to half and play again, now you can see the movement becomes smoother. It's playing in real time. Then I try to play the whole timeline in full resolution, It definitely felt it's smoother than what happened on iMac, but I can still feel dropping frames and laggy. So even though it looks a little smoother, I still don't consider it as usable under full resolution. I will still change it to half because under that setting, I'm confident that I'm previewing my timeline in real time. Actually, after that, I did a little bit more digging, and I kind of know why Premiere acts like this. I'm going to talk about that later in the video. Then I export my timeline in HEVC 10-bit 4K 2398. It took the M4 iMac 2 minutes and 44 seconds to finish. For the M3 Pro MacBook Pro, it's 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So in Premiere, we can see that the media engine doesn't really benefit that much. Instead, M3 Pro's extra GPU actually benefits a lot, resulting in a faster export speed. Okay, from the test result in Premiere, I feel like I'm still having a similar editing experience on both machines because I need to use the half-resolution playback anyway. But if I'm on M3 Pro, I will have a faster export speed for sure. Now let's test out the third project in DaVinci Resolve. This project is also shot on iPhone using ProRes Log, and the footage is ProRes 422HQ 4K 24 FPS as well. It's really the same situation with the previous two projects, and the timeline is also kind of the same, just cutting the clips together, and I applied color LUT and color correction. There's no other effects going on. Let's test the playback. So I have my timeline playback resolution on full, and let's hit play. You can tell this is really real-time playback because all the motions are so smooth. You can also see the frame rate is running at full over here. Now let me try the same project on my MacBook Pro. I have the playback resolution on full as well. And let's hit play. Still really smooth. And you can see it's playing at the real time. So compared with what happened in Premiere, it doesn't seem like there's any challenge for DaVinci Resolve over here. Everything just looks so smooth. Then I did an export test. It took M4 iMac 48 seconds to export the video, and for M3 MacBook Pro, it's 44 seconds, so a little bit faster over here. I kind of want to try something more challenging. Let me open another project. Okay, this is the project I want to test. I was working on it 2 weeks ago on this machine. I shot this video on iPhone 16 using HEVC codec. After editing all the clips together, I applied color grading. Then I added multiple effects such as glow, halation, blur, veneer, film grain, all that. And because I just finished, I remembered I could not play in real time in full resolution in DaVinci Resolve. Let me show you. I'm on full playback resolution, and let me hit play. Oh, it's really struggling. Look at the movement. It's really not great. But I mean, it's really understandable because all those film emulation effects, they are really GPU heavy. It always requires a really nice machine to have a full resolution real-time playback. So what I did on this machine is I edited the whole video in half playback resolution. If I do that, the playback will be in real time. And you can see it becomes really smooth. Just want to prove that the standard playback is all because of all those effects. I just turn everything off except the color grading, and then I switch the playback resolution to full. Now I can play the timeline nicely. I moved the project to the M4 iMac, and let's see what's gonna happen here. Let's don't make it too hard at the beginning. I still just keep the color grading on and all other effects off. I have the full resolution playback, and let's try to play from the beginning. Okay, it's pretty smooth. Look at the motion. Yeah, everything's smooth. It's also showing the full frame rate right here. Okay, now let's make things hard. I just turn on all those effects, including blur, halation, glow, film grain, vignette, all that, and let's try to play in full resolution. Okay, it's not in real time. It's really laggy. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah, kind of the same situation with the MacBook Pro. Look at the same spot. Yeah, it's definitely struggling. So, if we change the playback resolution to half, can we get a real-time playback? Ah, look at that, we can. Look at the motion. Yeah, it just looks as same as the MacBook Pro. Okay, so this is really interesting. In DaVinci Resolve, I'm still having a relatively same editing experience on both machines. The thing I cannot play back nicely on M4 iMac, I still cannot play back nicely on M3 Pro MacBook Pro. On both machines, I have to turn the playback resolution to half. But after that, they all perform exact the same. So during the editing process, there's really not that much difference. Now let's do the export test. For this one, I actually tried multiple different versions of the video because I want to see how those additional effects gonna affect the export time. For the first version, I turned off everything. So no color LUT, no color correction, no film emulation, just pure HEVC video with a music track. Under this scenario, it took M4 iMac 22 seconds to export the video, and it took the M3 Pro MacBook Pro 24 seconds. And then I turn on the color LUT and color correction. It just doesn't have all the other additional effects. In this case, it actually took the exact same amount of time, 22 seconds and 24 seconds. Then I turned on all the effects I had at the very beginning and export again. So now it's a full final video. In this case, it took iMac 4 minutes and 49 seconds to finish the export, and it took M3 MacBook Pro 3 minutes and 32 seconds. You can see some real difference this time. And just for fun, I brought this project to a maxed out M1 Ultra Mac Studio and tried to export over there. It took the Mac Studio 53 seconds to finish the export. Also, on that machine, I was able to play the whole timeline with all the effects on in real time in full resolution. Now let's test our last project. It's still in DaVinci Resolve, but this is a different type of video. It's a YouTube video I was working on before. It's my iPhone 15 Pro Max review. Compared with previous projects, this one definitely has more going on. So it has more tracks, more layers. It includes video footage, graphics, images, screen recordings, all that. And I also use a bunch of transitions, effects, something like that. It's a 15 minutes 4K timeline, and it has a mix of H.264, H.265, ProRes HQ, and even VP9 video from the internet. I kind of want to see how this gonna perform on the M4 iMac. Full resolution playback, and let's hit play. This morning, I woke up and I look at the date on my phone, May 11th. It's my phone's 6-month birthday! Okay, so I played the timeline for quite a bit, and I didn't really see any place that it got laggy. Throughout the whole time, it's just pretty smooth, including all those graphics, transition effects. Yeah, it worked pretty well. On my M3 Pro MacBook Pro, I kind of know already because I added this project on this machine. For the playback, it's not gonna stutter as well under full resolution. Just want to show you. This morning, I woke up and I look at the date on my phone, May 11th. It's my phone's 6-month birthday. 6 months ago, I went to... Okay, I'm gonna pass. Now, export test. I exported the timeline to HEVC 10-bit. It took the M4 iMac 6 minutes and 12 seconds to finish, and it took the M3 Pro MacBook Pro 5 minutes and 36 seconds. So it's faster on the M3 Pro. Now, bonus test. Because we know Apple did some improvement with the media engine on M4 chips, I kind of want to see if that improvement is noticeable when I'm dealing with a longer video. So I'm gonna do a transcode test. I made a 15-minute 4K 2398 ProRes 422 HQ file, and I threw it into Adobe Media Encoder on both machines, using the same preset to transcode them into 4K H.264. It took the M4 iMac 6 minutes and 4 seconds to finish, and it took the M3 Pro MacBook Pro 6 minutes and 47 seconds to finish. So you can see the improvement is obvious. And also, just for science, I brought the same file to that maxed out M1 Ultra Mac Studio and did the transcode. It took the Mac Studio 2 minutes and 5 seconds to finish the transcode. Of course, because Mac Studio always has more media engines. So the Max chip has double the media engines compared with the normal and the Pro chip. And the Ultra chip has double the media engines with the Max chip. That's why for this type of jobs, Mac Studio is always so much faster. That's also why that personally I feel like the M4 Pro Mac Mini might not be the best choice when you are choosing a video editing machine, because the M4 Mac Mini is a great deal, like the base model $599. But if you choose the Pro model, the price gonna suddenly become higher. And if you do some upgrades, the price is gonna become closer to Mac Studio. But if you get the Mac Studio, you're gonna have double the media engine, you're gonna have so many more GPU cores. I'm pretty sure the overall editing experience is gonna become better. Okay, I finished all the tests I want to do today, and here's my conclusion. For me, I think this M4 iMac can replace my M3 Pro MacBook Pro for video editing. Because just like what I said after the previous tests, both machines are giving me basically the same editing experience. The things I can do on my M3 Pro, I can still do that on M4. And the things I cannot do on M4, I still cannot do that on M3 Pro. So my Pro level machine doesn't really give me that many benefits. And also, because of the new enhanced media engine, in some type of jobs, the M4 is actually outperforming M3 Pro. But I have to say that the benefit of M3 Pro is that if you are doing a lot of graphic intense edits, for example, you use a lot of effects like film emulation, object removal, upscaling, all that, the extra GPU cores on the Pro chip gonna help you with the playback and export. That's why you can see in my testing, when I export all those graphic intense sequence, the M3 Pro is always faster than the M4. But to me, I kind of feel like I'm fine with the M4 chip. Maybe because on my MacBook Pro, I'm having the base M3 Pro chip and the GPU performance is not that crazily awesome compared with the better M3 Pro chips. So during the editing process, it doesn't really help me that much with the playback. That's why in the testing, you can see those two machines always staggered at the exact same spot. And for the faster export speed in a graphic intense timeline, I don't really care about export speed that much actually, because whenever I export a video, I always go do something else. I never sit here staring at my screen and waiting the video to be done. If it takes like half a minute or 1 minute longer, I'm fine with that. So here's my recommendation. If you like editing videos for fun and you are thinking about getting a M4 iMac or the base model M4 Mac Mini, I would say go for it. You are gonna be very happy. From all the tests I just did, you can see if you are editing 4K ProRes, H.264, H.265 videos, having color grading, having all the tracks, no problem at all. You can still play back in real time in full resolution. If you add too many effects and the playback starts stuttering, just turn down the playback resolution and it will be smooth again. But if you are thinking about getting a new video editing machine for work, personally, I would recommend to get the new M4 Max MacBook Pro or wait for the new M4 Max or M4 Ultra Mac Studio. I haven't got the chance to test out this year's M4 Pro chip yet. I've seen a bunch of reviews and it seems like it's really awesome, but I kind of feel like the extra media engines and the so many more GPU cores on Max and Ultra chips are going to help you quite a bit throughout the whole video editing process. That's why from my test, you can see the M1 Ultra chip from 2.5 years ago still performs so much better in video playback and export. So to me, if I'm getting a personal video editing machine, I will either go with the base model M4 and just deal with it, but save some cash, or I would go with the Mac Studio. I know right now it might not be the best time to buy the Mac Studio because the new M4 generation might come out half year later. But if you can find a great deal on the M2 Max version, that will also be awesome. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna last for many years. Now, as I promised, I want to talk about the video editing software. If you are getting the base model M4 chip, I would recommend you to edit in Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve. Well, to be honest, I'm a longtime Premiere Pro user as well, but I kind of feel like it needs a little bit more optimization on the current platform. As you can see from my test, I have similar sequence in those three programs. The resolution, frame rate, codec of the footage are all the same and similar color grading, but Premiere Pro is the only software that cannot play back in real time in full resolution. During the test, I actually investigated a little bit and I was looking at my CPU and GPU usage while playing and exporting my sequence in those three different programs. From the graphs, you can see all of them didn't really use CPU that much. Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve, they all use moderate level of GPU power. But for Premiere Pro, it just blew up the GPU the entire time. I guess that's why I could not have a good playback performance on both machines because they all don't really have that many GPU cores. I'm not a software engineer, so I don't really know what's going on over there, but I'm pretty sure that's something that can be improved because in the other two software, they are all not acting like that. So if in your workflow you have to use Premiere Pro, I would recommend you to look at the machine that has a Pro, Max, or even Ultra level chip. You'll have a better editing experience. Alright, that's all for today's video. If you find it useful, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more tech-related content like this, be sure to subscribe. If you have any questions or you want to see more testing, let me know in the comments. Now check out some other videos of mine. I'm pretty sure you will be interested as well. Have a nice day!